right.
Hello, good day. I want to say good morning, but since we're not morning over in the UK with Wayne, we'll just say good day.
Yeah, good day, guys. Good day.
How are you today, Wayne?
I'm really good. I've been buzzing for this all day. Really looking forward to this. 4:30 this morning. I've been buzzing for this.
You're fine. I'm so sorry about that. We were
No, it's
sitting on the
fine. It's
show
absolutely
last
fine.
night. We were sitting on the show last night, and it registered to me. Crap! Did I tell Wayne that he needed to be on at 5 a.m. his time? And I went and looked at the messages. Like, oh my god! So that's all I sent that message. Go back to bed. Go back to bed.
There
I'm
was
So
no
I'm
welcome
joy of
to
that.
the
My
show.
my daughter then got up. She was awake at 4:30, so I had no chance of going back to bed. Unfortunately,
yeah.
Right.
Terry. I'm gonna send you this nifty little website I use that just literally converts all the times on one page.
Well, I think Jenny had said something yesterday about having different wall clocks. And I thought, what a great idea because I've got one in the living room that we really never ever use. It's just there for decorations.
yeah, it'd
So
be
I
really
thought,
good. It'd be a really good
yeah,
idea.
I'm going to set that one for UK time. And then, it'll look like a news station on my wall in here. So because Lord Jesus, we have grown in the last week since Jess and I have talked to y'all last week. Skeleton Key Network was basically just a few shows, us and a couple other shows. Now we have the fabulous Wayne from Spirits Within. We have so many shows now on our lineup. It's just absolutely brilliant, as the people from the UK would say. We're thrilled to have y'all. So, with that, Wayne, tell us who you are and what you do.
Will do. Thank you. Firstly, I want to say it's a pleasure to be on your network and meeting you two and other people as well, like-minded people over in the States. So it's a pleasure for me to be on this journey. Um, so my name's Wayne. My name's Wayne. I'm a paranormal investigator, owner of Spirits Within in the UK, West Yorkshire, Huddersfield. Um, it's I've been doing this for about 2 years, doing actual lives, but in the paranormal, I've been part of it for whole my life. You know, for the very first moment, I picked up a book called Goosebumps by R.L. Stein. I've been fascinated by the unknown and what's out there and everything. So that's sort of inspired me in a way. And I've always had like a feeling of the paranormal. Sort of, I believe I belong in this sort of field, but never had the confidence to do it. Never. And then I got involved with an old paranormal team that I'm no longer with, and I should not say. But they sort of gave me the knowledge of going forward and the confidence. And then a few friends as well in 2020 said to me, "Look, go for it. What have you got to lose? Just go for it." I didn't know no one. I had no background of people that knows me. I literally was like a fresh out of. I mean, like a fresh fish out of the ocean. Like literally had nothing, no resumes, no work experience with other teams, nothing. I was pure fresh, and I thought let's go for it. And fast forwarded 2 years, where I'm, or just over two, I think it is. Um, Fast forward now, and well, here I am. So it's amazing journey, absolutely fresh out of ghost school. There we go. Um,
Right.
and yeah,
So, Wayne, you and I met, last week, week before last, and
I've actually
I.
known you, Terry, for a while. I've been watching some of your bits for a while, but never talked to you. I never spoke to you.
Oh, okay. Well,
Mm,
I'm glad
Well,
that we finally met. And I've got
exactly.
to say, when we did officially come face to face, we had a lot of connections, a lot of things that I was like, you're my brother from another. So
Yeah, you're my
now
sister for
I
another
just
mister.
want to point out as I was listening to you talk, okay, so
Yeah.
your paranormal team is Spirits Within.
Yes.
We're Spirit Alabama. I also started out on another team, didn't really work out, and I thought the same thing. What do I got to lose? Um, I might as well do this, try this myself. And of
Exactly.
course, Jess came on shortly thereafter, and I can't say enough about her. Without her, I wouldn't be where I am today in the paranormal field.
Oh,
But
bless.
I just think our similarities and the things that we've done is kind of incredible. It's like we're kind of living parallel lives across the ocean,
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. So,
that
um,
is cool, definitely.
I'm glad to meet my brother from another in another land. So, Wayne, tell us a little bit about you personally. Are you married?
Yeah, I've got a wife. I've been with my partner for 9 years, married for 6. Um, I met her through chance. Um, and I met her through a dating app. But this dating app was a random app. I've never done dating apps in my life, never. But I need for me to explain that how it got to that point. I need to get back to my granddad to his death. My granddad was dying. He had stomach cancer and he had an aneurysm, and they couldn't operate on either without like activating each one. You know what I mean? So they had to look. You just got to basically live the last few days. Like really, there's no that they could help him. But my granddad's from Leeds, and Leeds is in Yorkshire, and it was quite close to me. I was quite close to my granddad. He's like a dad figure to me, and um, I said to him, because they put him into like a state of a coma before he passed, and I said to him, he's the last Leeds person or last Yorkshire person in my family that I have really strong connection with. And I said to him, look, I'll bring Yorkshire back in this family one way or another. I'll make you proud. Somehow I'll do it. I had no connection with, I didn't know no one from Yorkshire, no girls or lassies from Yorkshire, no women, nothing. I didn't know how I was going to do it. So fast forward, that was in 2013. Fast forward, New Year in 2013. I literally was single for a while. I thought, you know what, I'm going to start a dating app. I'm going to start a random dating app. And you ask me now what dating app I went on, I haven't got a clue. I went on my phone, I scrolled through, and I joined. I then got talking to my wife, was my first one. And then I moved to Yorkshire that year. And now I've got a daughter that's Yorkshire.
Awesome. So, how old is your daughter?
She's 8 years old. When I got with my wife, she had 4 children already. My wife is 10 years older than me. My wife is 47. So
Mental.
so I was like, you know what? I love you. I'm connected to you. I don't care how much baggage you've got. I don't care who you're with or who your past is, who your children are. I'm here for you. And I knew in my head, if I take the mother on, I take her children on. So I came a stepdad to 4 children. And then
Awesome.
me and my wife had my little daughter soon after. Um, I moved up here, and now I'm a dad to her, of course. And we would have had a second son or a second child, but my son unfortunately passed in. He died, so it was a
Oh, I'm so
miscarriage.
sorry for that.
No,
I'm
it's
so
fine. It's
sorry.
absolutely fine. I'm open talking about that, so it's absolutely fine. And I've been in Yorkshire for like 9 years, and I moved 160 miles away from my family because I've got no family up here. See, all my family's down south, so I
Right.
moved completely away and to start a new life, and it's worked out amazingly.
It sounds like it.
Wow.
And I just have to say another similarity. My old address is Leeds, Alabama.
Is it
Truth,
really?
it really is.
Oh
I
wow!
still have I still have stuff in that house down there. I've got to go get almost 2 years later. We're renovating
Hmm.
this
Oh
house.
wow!
It's been a long
Well, and
process.
I have to say, it takes a particular special kind of man to raise somebody else's children.
I mean, they are my
Yes.
And
babies.
I say that as someone who was raised by someone who is not her birth father.
Yes,
Yeah,
I have a stepfather too, and he is absolutely amazing. And it really does, Wayne. Kudos to you because it really does take a special man to step up and say, "Hey, these are my babies, and I love them like
they
my
are my
own."
babies. I've always said if me and Vicky down the line something went wrong, or I hope it doesn't, but something did went wrong, they're still my babies. I'll still take care of them as much as I take my own little daughter. So
Right
I'll always be there for them, always now.
now, I did see the video of you and your daughter doing the God, the little faces that was so cute and so
Is it
let's
the Avatar?
the avatar. That's I
Yeah,
lost
yeah,
the
yeah.
word.
My daughter is very camera. She loves the camera. She loves being on the stage. She loves doing she loves all that sort of stuff, the limelight. I do sometimes on my show or my team, we have Destiny story time. So she comes on now and then as you sit down, and a lot of my followers comes on, they got children of their own, back same way as Destiny. And she'll sit down for like between 7 and 8 o'clock at night, and she'll just talk about Disney or talk about something that she's been doing or something, and just her story time. It's her hour. I mean, I'm there, of course, next to her to make sure it's safe for her, its comments are safe for her. Luckily, she can't read like we can, so that's
Right,
fingers crossed at the moment. You know what I mean? But at the moment, it's
right.
been really nice. It's been really nice at the moment, and
Oh, well, you'll definitely have to tag us when she goes. We might need to put her on Skeleton Key too.
maybe in the
That
future,
reminds me of my daughter. She is that very same way. She loves the limelight, loves just, oh, it's
Yeah, I
painful
have my
sometimes.
daughters are now grown, and y'all you met them in the chat, Wayne. But I do have six grandchildren, and so
oh wow,
some of those grandchildren like the limelight, some of them don't. So maybe we could connect all these kids. That would be cool for them to have
be
friends
amazing. It'll
across
be
the mesh.
amazing. Definitely, no, definitely, that'd be fantastic. I mean, I have a grandson. My eldest, for Ficky's eldest, Olivia, my daughter, she's 24, 25, and she gave me a granddad. I became a granddad at the age of 34.
Very
Hmm.
cool. Very
Hey, that
cool.
So
is
it
cool.
was cool. Yeah, of course it is. And he's here now. He's downstairs. We've got him for the night. So
Oh, that's always fun. My grandbabies, I think, are coming this weekend. Some of them, they're doing a car wash. I have six, that are my bloodline, and then I've got Jess's two that I claim as my grandbabies. Tiffany, another, was on our show last night. She has two girls, and I claim them as mine. So I have a few other little adopted grandchildren too.
Yep.
So, so now, Wayne. Speaking of your videos and your daughter's videos, tell us what you've been doing on social media because from what I hear, you're like a TikTok superstar. I don't do
I'm not.
TikTok,
I'm not
so
a TikTok dude. Nah. I go on TikTok because I'm trying to spread my word, who I am and what I do, across many platforms. Um, I'm on TikTok quite a lot. There's a lot of people on TikTok that are going through some really hardship, and trolls and bullies are very hard on TikTok. Like I am in certain lives, and it's really like evil. Some of the stuff that I see, and I go on there, and I drop in their box because on TikTok you go live, you get free guests on your show and whatever you're doing on TikTok, and I go on there and I'll give them some words of like encouragement and trying to help them in some way. There was one. Um, there's a guy. He's a guy. Sorry, but she went for a transsexual. She went from a trans, and she was a girl, went to a guy, and she was getting, or he was getting bullied. Because I'm not gonna say she. It's a he now, and he was getting bullied for doing that. And I jumped straight on there, and I was like, Nah, mate, what are you doing? Like you can't pick on this person. I didn't even know this person. No, I didn't know who this person was or nothing, but I felt like I had to jump in and say, look, no, this is not okay. It doesn't matter who you are in this world, you are you, and that's important. And I jumped on. I've done it for a few times, on someone else's live, and someone got fat shamed, like literally fat shamed, and I'm like,
right.
nah, don't be doing this, and I'm always there protecting. I'm always there trying to look after and look out for people, even if I don't even know them, and I see them getting bullied on messages and comments. I will always jump in and say, look, no, this is not okay.
Well, that is amazing, Wayne, and I guess we should just start calling you Sir Wayne of the Knight in Shining Armor on TikTok.
What did we name our
Um,
church? What was it? The Church of the Round
the
Table
Church
of.
of the Round Table of
So you're a
something.
knight of the Church of the Round Table of whatever
Yes,
it is we
yes,
decided
we
it
we,
was.
we have just knighted you. Yes, the Skeleton King Knight. That's right. We knight you, Sir Wayne. That's amazing that you jump because I guess that too is kind of what kept me. Jess and I talked about doing shows like this for a long time. And that was a thing for me. You put yourself out there and you put yourself out there for people to fat shame you, to bully. I'm the girl with the deep voice. I've been bullied for that my whole life. I mean,
Yeah.
so it really was hard to put yourself out there and for people to come on and bully them. It's so wrong, and it just shows that people just really don't have a life. If you've got
Yeah,
nothing
I was
better to do
nervous.
than
I
bully
mean,
somebody,
I'm not a small girl, and I was a little nervous about it, and then I just finally decided, I don't really care.
Exactly. These people don't know you, so it's words, and words do hurt.
They
That's
do.
because that stick and stone will break my bone, but words never hurt me, or whatever. That's no, that's not true.
No.
Words do hurt, and words do stick.
words
And once they leave your mouth,
absolutely. I would
once
rather
words
you
leave your
come up
mouth,
and punch me
they are there.
because I'm going to get over that quicker. you know,
Mhm.
Come up and punch me. That's going to heal quicker than somebody hurting your feelings.
Exactly that, and I always say physical abuse is always healing faster than mental abuse. And mental abuse is a lot worse. It always will be. And I'm a big believer that we can't help who we look like or how big we are or what. Some people can't even help that. You know, um, it's what's inside that matters, and that's what I'm trying to get across. And that's what I'm trying to accomplish. I am a paranormal investigator. My first priority is the paranormal, but I also have a passion for mental health and where the mind is and how people are. So I am sort of
Right.
balanced in both sides.
Well, as
Well, and
somebody
that's
who has
amazing.
bipolar disorder and PTSD, I think that's pretty amazing because not a lot of people
Right.
speak out for mental health. And I'll just say here, for everybody that's watching, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so keep that in mind.
Oh,
Share out
yeah.
good mental health
Yeah.
awareness posts.
Yes, it is mental. And, I'll go ahead and put out there, I am also a sufferer from, I have anxiety attacks and post traumatic stress disorder, probably complex post traumatic stress
Yeah.
disorder. So people need to be aware that you just never know what's going on in someone's life. And I had seen, yeah, and I won't get into the whole political thing with the abortion thing that's going on in the United States right now,
Yeah,
but I
I've been seeing quite a lot of that recently.
I
Yeah,
did I did post something about that the other day about a child who was raped by her father when she was 13 and had to birth that child, because of the time that it happened. And someone, came on my stuff saying, "Well, this should not have ruined their entire life." Well, who the hell are you to say what should and should not, how it affects someone? Because, just because that person might be the kind of person that could wipe it away and move on, doesn't mean that everybody else has that same brain
but I'm
capacity.
just
Or
saying that statement alone is wrong. That
right,
mother's got to look at that child's eyes every day, knowing how that baby came into this world, and
Yeah.
right,
that will stick to her for life. It won't just go. That will be with her for her entire existence.
right,
How she got that child. So it's
right.
not like, well, you just get over it. No, that's
No,
far
yeah,
from
you
it.
just can't take a shower and wash that shit away. So,
Exactly that. No, you're absolutely
right.
right.
Though I'm sure she probably tried.
Yes,
But I think what gets me the most is that 13-year-old. She can be forced to give birth, yet she's too young to get to hear sexual education.
Yeah. I
She can
right,
be
think some
forced to give
laws,
right,
birth but can't hear sex ed. That makes
yeah,
no
I
sense
think
to me.
I think some laws around the world concept or counter other laws. It doesn't make sense half the laws, and I think a lot of stuff needs to be re-looked at. A lot of stuff around the world needs to be looked at, different laws and how they are go about. You know, I
right,
have my opinions on the abortion thing, but I'm not saying that's my opinions. I feel, I am a big believer that if a woman chooses, it depends what circumstances she's been through, she has the right to do that. If it's her choice,
Yeah.
you know.
right, right.
Um, but I
That's
And
know
that's
plenty.
how
exactly
I
where
feel.
we are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
someone said to me the other day that, well, I just, and since we've opened this can of worms and we're here, we might as well just put it out there because it's important and it needs to be talked about. And people that don't understand, when we say, people like myself and Wayne and Jess, when we say that we are pro choice, that does not mean, and this was a statement someone gave me the other day, well, I don't like abortion because it's used as birth control. Now, I know myself personally a few people who have had abortions. It had nothing to do with birth control. It had all to do with the situation they were in. None of them
Exactly.
wanted to do it. It was, and they probably all suffer years later from this decision they had to do. I
Exactly.
myself am a victim of rape. I was 16. It was a time that I was very fertile when they ran the test. Before I left the hospital, they asked me, did I want to make an appointment for 2 weeks later to go have my uterus scraped in case I did not start my period. I said, absolutely. Because, I mean, that was the most traumatic thing I had ever been through in my life. I was beaten, I was stabbed, I was raped, and I fought for my
Oh,
life to get
Terry,
away from him. It's no problem, Wayne, but he's in prison now for the rest of his life for what he did to me.
fucking damn right. He
So,
should never see
so
daylight again.
Right. So, I mean, it's no problem. I'm a survivor and I won't let someone like that take away who I am. But I will
You're,
say, I
you're a
would
strong
have
woman.
never carried that man's baby. I would have never done it. Would not have happened. Now, fast forward to when my husband and I got married. We had a beautiful little baby, but that beautiful little baby was the monster baby from hell. She had a broken collarbone. She was colicky. She screamed if she was awake. She screamed. She was about 6 months old, just came out of that screaming. I found
Oh,
out I was
man.
pregnant again. I cried. I mean, because all I could think about was, I just got rid of this screaming day in and day out baby, and now I'm about to have another one. And the first thing my husband said when he came home and found me sitting on the front porch crying was, well, baby, we can have an abortion if that's what you want to do. Now, of course, I was like, no, we absolutely would not do that. But, he understood the stress that I was under and that, it may not be the best time to have another baby right now.
Well,
And
I
I,
mean, you can be pro-life for yourself and still be pro-choice for
The,
everybody else.
yeah, definitely.
exactly.
I feel America's a lot harder to live than it is in the UK. UK, we've got the NHS. And over here, it's a lot easier to live. It is. Because I saw a video the other day of someone spending one night, giving birth, spending one night in a hospital, right, in America. $24,000 for one
Oh,
night,
yes. It is
right?
absolutely
That
ridiculous.
over here is free of charge.
Wow. So I just
You know
want to
what
take
I
a
mean?
moment
So
and say, Joshua,
I feel it's
yeah, I
different
just wanted to
lifestyles
say,
as well is a factor.
right. I
Yeah.
want to, send a shout out to Joshua. Thank you, for sharing. I know a lot of times, things are hard to share, but, I
Especially for
feel
But
like,
men who have
no,
been
no,
through
right,
no.
sexual
They are
assault.
very hard to share. Very hard to share.
right.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you don't speak about it, if you don't, Jess is the same way. If we don't open our mouth and spew it out there, then it's our dirty secret. And what happened to us was not our fault.
No,
That
it
was
wasn't me.
somebody else's
No,
sick shit. So,
of course.
don't be afraid to share, Josh, and anyone else that's listening. You know, reach out to someone. I'll always be available to talk. Jess is available to talk. If you need someone to go with you to help report it, we're your team, man. We'll get you there. Whatever you need, we'll get you there. I'm a firm believer in that. So, and that's the thing with abortion is people don't use it as birth control, and the
Well,
people
my
that
thing
think
is,
that, go ahead, Jess.
even if they do use it as birth control, I still don't care. I still think it's their choice because I would rather them have an abortion every 3 months than bring hungry, starving, unwanted babies in the world. I'm sorry. I don't care if
Exactly.
they do it every 6 months.
Right. And if you go and you look at, I Heart Alabama, for example, this is an adoption website where you can look at these poor, pitiful children. I've seen kids 18 years old begging to be adopted because they're about to age out of the system. They've been
Yep.
in foster care and group homes their entire
And they're
life.
in there. And
And
the abuse they
I
suffer
read one
there.
story, Wayne. It was just heartbreaking. This little boy was about to turn 19 and age out of the system, offering someone he would get a job and pay them back all adoption fees. He just didn't want to age out of the system and not have a family. I mean, is that not the most heartbreaking?
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is
and then you
definitely,
see these,
definitely,
you
yeah.
know, little kids that, you know, all they want for Christmas is a family with a dog. You know, my heart is just like, oh my God, I want to go get all of them. You know, I've got dogs, I've got a horse, you know.
But that's what I mean, Terry. Like it's different. Like American life to UK life is completely different in that sense. You know, over there you need insurance to go and see a doctor or go to hospital. You know, and do all that. You've got to have insurance. Here you don't. Here you don't. I mean, you have got private prioritize where you can
Right,
pay for your service, but most of it is free. It's free. You know,
right,
and I feel like I feel now hearing this, a lot of it is you take quite advantage of that, you know, and we are sort of how lucky we are to have that here, where you got people around the world, not just America, but people in other countries that don't get that choice. You know
right.
what I mean,
Oh, well,
or that
don't even
option.
get me on the medical thing. We had appointments yesterday for my husband, and he's had a ongoing issue. They took him off work because of this, you know, so now he's like gets 40% of what his salary was. It's
Yeah,
been 2 years. They haven't found the problem. Yesterday, he had to have some tests run. We get down there, they hit us with a $575 copay, you know, which is almost half of what his income is, you know, and it's like, what the, you know, it's our daytime
yeah.
show, so I try not to get on too much of a rant, but, you know, it really is the American healthcare system. We could do 100 shows about that. So now let's move on off of our
Yeah.
political
Okay.
rants here and talk about your positive readings that you do for people, Wayne.
Yeah, so I do positive readings. I've done them for quite a while. I've done them with many people, i.e., like Sharon Weston in the chat there, I see. She's a medium from over here in the UK. Absolutely amazing woman. I've done, she's absolutely fantastic. Can't speak more highly of her. Um, but yeah, I do positive readings. I'm not a psychic medium, right? I'm not. But I have weird experiences when I do cards. Okay, so I sometimes see words, or I see it in person, or you know, and it's not always the case. I can't go like every live I go. It fluctuates, and like it feels like spirits talking through me in a sense. Like I'm not in control; they are, and it's like I'm sort of feeding through the words. But I do positive readings for mental health and for basically positivity. There's people in the world, all around the world, that's going through really hardship, especially at the time like we are going through in this age. You know, just coming out of COVID, or actually we're still going through COVID, but with like literally those who come out of COVID and people that lost loved ones through it all, and with
Right.
all sorts of mental health and stuff like that. It's it's important that we give back. And I do positive readings just to give that 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever, because that can change someone's day. They're out thinking and how they think about what's going through that day. That could change how they
Right.
think, you
Right.
know? And that's what I try and do. I try and use the oracle cards in that way. I try and give that positivity back to them. And yeah, I mean, not everyone gets like a really good positivity. I mean, I've got to be truthful in some of the stuff that I say, and quite factual in what I feel and what I think. But I try and do it as much as I can, like the positivity. And I've been doing that for quite a while. You know, I'm self-taught. Helen helped me. My old second meeting, that was my team. She helped me on bits and bobs, but most of it is just self-taught. You know what I feel. I flip cards and that's it really. But I really enjoy it, and yeah, I really enjoy connecting with people as well.
And that's really amazing. And I think, you know, I think most of us are kind of that way, Wayne. I don't, I get, you know, I just had someone message me the other day, you know, about the paranormal team. Are you a medium? Are you a psychic? And I repeat it all the time. I do not claim any kind of gifts. Every now and then, something will just come out of my mouth, and I don't know where the hell it came from, you know?
Yeah,
And a lot of times, those things will come to be, or it'll be accurate, but I still, you know, don't like to claim. And I have a problem. Jess has kind of helped me with this, um, with my tarot cards. Reading people. I don't like to give that bad news.
It's
So the
hard
thing that
to do
you
so.
the thing that you do with the positive readings and the oracle, I think that's great. That is absolutely wonderful. Like you said, sometimes people just need, to hear a positive something to start their day out good.
Yeah,
I have
And
one
that's really cool,
particular
Sharon.
gift that probably
I did
tickles the
actually move the spirit.
line,
Yeah, yeah. Go on.
but
Sorry.
I was saying I have one single gift that probably kind of tickles the line of what people would try to claim was, some sort of psychic or medium. But I also don't advertise it. The only people that know are those who are closest to me, like Terry. Terry knows. I didn't have a choice. I
Right.
had to tell
Right.
Terry.
Yeah. Sometimes those things that just beat you over the head, whether you want them to or not. Yeah.
It was either
So,
you talk to
um,
Terry or I'm going to drive you nuts. So,
and hello, Jenny. Um, and that's
Janae,
does this thing ever happen to you, Wayne? Like, I'll be in the shower, and it's like I'll be here and just forget about throw Brittany. It'd be like Brittany. It's just we playing in my head, and I'm like, who the fuck is Brittany?
Yeah,
What? And then
yeah.
I'll pick up my phone and I'll see somebody and it'll be, oh, and like I'll reach out to them. I'm like, I don't know why I'm supposed to be messaging you or calling you. And then just somewhere in the conversation, something will just fall out of my mouth and it's like, where did that come from?
hmm,
No,
So,
I get that. I get that. Recently, I don't want to say what's happened. It's not my business, but the word betrayal came into my head, and I was looking at two people on a certain app that I know of, and the word betrayal came out straight away. And I was like, "Oh, what's
right,
this? Like, why I'm thinking the word betrayal? Why I'm thinking that word?" And I rang up a certain person, and I spoke to this person, and I said, "Look, I'm getting this word." And he was like, "Yes, you are right. There's still something going on." Anyway, it's all come out now that everyone
yeah,
knows what
yeah,
happened and all that.
right,
But
right.
for me to get that word in my head for some reason, I didn't explain it, and then
Yeah, it's like,
ring that person, and then get that confirmation that it is happening. It did take it back a bit.
right, right. And we had Catherine Sorella, so I had actually watched her on another show. And for me, that was huge because she had validated an investigation that I did. And it was like she was reading my notes from that investigation. It was like, yeah,
yes.
so it
Oh,
built
it
my
was insane.
yeah, it was like it built my confidence, with my paranormal team, because Jess will tell you, of course, none of us are
She
confident.
second
We
guesses
can't,
herself all the time.
even though it's like, I know this is what I'm feeling, and I get the team reports and they say the same thing, but I still will second guess myself. So having someone like Catherine, you know, basically read my notes from 2.5 years ago was an incredible, empowering thing for me. The only gift I ever claim to have is I've got a really good bullshit meter.
Yep, she does.
I
She's got
spot
that
bullshit
bullshit
from a
meter.
mile
She
away.
knows when somebody is bullshitting. So
And that really comes in handy as a paranormal investigator. Because
it
It does.
does.
It
I
does.
can't tell you how many
Oh
times
yeah, it does.
we try to do like a client intake call so that my team can hear, we'll do a conference call so that my team
Yeah.
can hear the situation. And I can't tell you how many times that I've said, we ain't doing this because this is a method, or this is not what it is,
This is
or
somebody
they're faking
tweaking.
it, right, or whatever it is. So thank whatever from powers above that have given me my bullshit meter.
Yep, yep.
So you're on TikTok, you're on Facebook, are you on Instagram? And tell
Yeah.
us.
Um, Instagram's a bit more personal. In my spare time, I sometimes take pictures of like the outdoors, photographs. I hadn't done it for a while. I didn't a few recently, but I ain't done much recent. And I used to take pictures of like clouds and the sun. Um, I went out one day. I put the picture earlier. I went 5 o'clock in the morning. I went down to my local park and it was snowed. So I went round and I took pictures of how it looked before it got disturbed. And I did that. And I just do things like that. I do like trips and I take photos and it goes on Instagram. I also share TikTok videos sometimes to Instagram, and I also do adverts as well, like my advertising as well. So it's like a
Right,
mixture. It
right,
is linked with paranormal, but it's also personal.
right. I'm trying to branch into the Instagram too, just because I know that we can, get a broader audience. And the whole reason why Jess
Yeah.
and I started this in the beginning, this online podcasting thing, was so people would know we were out there. If they needed a paranormal team, locally,
It just kind
because
of took on a life of its own.
it really did. It became something that we never expected. It really did. But here we are. We've met some amazing people. I mean,
All over the
it
world.
all over the world. So, and it's really cool that we're doing this paradiversity thing and working with all these teams so that we can share. And hopefully, one day, paranormal won't be paranormal. So, do you have any investigations coming up, Wayne?
I, not really. I haven't got really like. I don't really book events. Like I don't really book places. I normally go. I love woods, so I normally go to the outside. I normally stay in public areas. And I've got quite a few around me that I do like. There is a few locations that ain't public. They're on private land, but they're not. Well, they are owned by someone, but I don't know who they're owned by. But I am looking to get into those as well at some point with permission. But yeah, I love the woods. I've got some amazing woods around me, and I've got a few of them lined up. I'm sure in the next few weeks, if not.
So you
So
do a lot of your paranormal investigating outside.
yeah. Everything's done outside. No, literally about 90% of what we do is outside.
Oh, very interesting. And do you find that you get some really good evidence outside?
Yeah. We get some, oh, not all the time, like because
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
it,
not like they're there. I feel like that spirits are everywhere. It's just that they reveal themselves when they want to.
exactly that. Yeah. So yeah, I've been to locations. I've got some really good evidence of an orb then transformed into a shadow figure. Um, that was crazy. We had that. Then that's the time when I got scratched 17 times, and then um, there was one with the church. I did the investigation in an abandoned church. I played some Roman Catholic sort of music. My wife caught a shadow, um, and then just shadows here and pictures and things like that. Things that people send in to me and stuff like that. So
Very cool. Well, of course, Jess, you know that now my head is turning of some outside locations. So, do you do like cemeteries and stuff like that too, Wayne?
only abandoned ones. We did go to an active ceremony, graveyard, um, but I've I won't go back there again. I won't go to no active graveyard because I feel it's still disrespectful to the people in my local area or the area that I am in at that time. What I do is we have got an abandoned graveyard that's no longer in use.
Right.
That's been abandoned for quite a while, and the oldest grave there it goes back to like early 1800s. And that's linked with some woods as well. So we are looking to go back there at some point, or I am, because I'm on my own up here now. I've got no team up north. I'm literally by myself. So I do all
Oh,
my
well, you
investigations.
need to build you a team up there. I'm sure there's some people around you that would be
Oh
interested
yeah,
in
I
going
mean,
with
I
you.
don't mind, but I like doing things on my own sometimes, like going out and just me,
Well,
and doing
now you
things.
know. Number one rule of investigation is don't do it alone.
Yes,
I
100.
know, but I know, but
Because you
I
never
sometimes
know.
break
I
the
mean,
rule.
it's
Oh
just
no,
it's for
no,
safety.
yeah, I totally get that. I mean, I advise anyone not do it by themselves, but I don't know. I feel like this area is not like it hasn't got no negativity here. I don't feel
Right.
negativity when I go out. You know, I know the area, and I know the sort of spirits that come through now and then. You know,
Well, yeah, you've built a relationship with them, so
with
they're
certain ones,
probably going to
yeah.
look out for you, in those areas too.
So, and I'm not too far from home, like either. You know, I'm always in like a walking distance from where I go. I never drive out, you know, so I'm always in walking distance. But I have a south team, so I have two teams in one. So I've got a north team that's in West Yorkshire, Huddersfield, and I've got another team that's in Milton Keynes, outside London, like around Luton area. And they go out, and they're in a group of four down there. So they've got four people that go out down south.
Right.
And they, at the moment, they're doing more of the investigations than I am at the moment. I'm doing more in my home, i.e., with card readings, ITC sessions in my home. And I do all sorts of other things, you know, like talk shows, Q&As, things like that.
Right. Right. I mean, yeah, you're a superstar on social media. You're all over the place. So, what kind of paranormal equipment do you like to use? What's your favorite equipment?
Me, my favorite equipment, apart from your eyes and ears and your senses, they are
Right.
very important. For me, I'm not sure. I see. I'm more. I like the apps, you know, necrophonics and things like that. I do like them, but you
We
got
use
to be
that as
open.
well.
But you got to be open minded with them. You got to sort of like understand them
Right.
because they can loop themselves. You know, they can re-loop themselves over. So, but my favorite equipment will probably be my smoke box. It's probably my favorite equipment. I have a smoke box that has a fan attached to it. Um, I want many teams to do this because I want to see their evidence, what they get, because it's absolutely amazing. We have some amazing pictures from this. I know it's that word pareidolia and all that goes around, but we've caught some amazing figures from this. And what it
Well,
is,
I think sometimes there's, because a lot of times, well, a couple weeks ago I did a fire and we seen a pretty wild looking face in the fire. I
yeah,
think
you can.
sometimes, there is pareidolia, but I think sometimes something does reveal itself in the smoke or in the fire. So that's really
It can.
interesting that you're using a smoke machine.
Yeah, so basically, this smoke machine is handmade. It's basically a box that's made from like the most thinnest of wood. Um, and basically, you got a bowl in the middle, and then at the top, the lid. You cut out a circle. You stick a fan to it, and you face it the other way around, so it sort of like it sucks but blows up. It's blowing the smoke up. And
Right,
then what I all I use, it's a chargeable fan as well, so you can charge it and recharge it up. What I do is I use smoke pellets. You get them from your local shop for your chimneys and stuff like that to make sure your
Mhm.
chimney's clear.
right,
I just use them. And then what I do is I light it, put it into the bowl, shut the lid, let the smoke build up. The fan goes on, and then it blows the smoke completely up. And then what we do is we shine lights on it. So green, red, blue, whatever light we feel gets shined on it, and then we take screenshots of the smoke and see. And we're like we're calling out. We say, look, come and show yourself into this smoke. You're more welcome to come here. We can see you and all this, you know. So
right. Well, that's a
yeah,
very interesting theory there. We've definitely picked up some things that we're going to be borrowing
Mhm.
from other teams here in the last
definitely,
couple of
no,
weeks.
definitely.
And I
And
want
then
to touch
Um,
probably
on this comment here where Sharon said there's a lot of fake apps, and that is 100% true. The
there
only
is, yeah,
two that we use are Necrophonics and what is it, the Miracle Box. Those are the only two apps.
the Miracle Box by Huff Paranormal. If you've never
Yes,
heard of him, go check
go
him out.
watch his
He's amazing. In
YouTube.
fact, yeah, I would like to maybe see if we can't run him down and get him to do a show with us because
yeah.
he's come up with some amazing equipment and he's a fantastic guy too in the paranormal
Water
field. It's
squad,
all
yeah, water squad's
love and
amazing.
light.
Watchman's good.
Um,
Yeah, it would be interesting.
and I will say, if y'all see smoke in the background, I mean, my husband is sitting back here smoking, so nothing
Yeah,
paranormal there, y'all.
and y'all know I'm always vaping, so
And y'all excuse the coughing. We're all battling allergies and the crud and stuff in Alabama here. Um, and is it still snowing over there in the UK? Is it still
No,
cold?
no, no. Those pictures I took over winter period, but
Okay.
no, it's coming into our summer now here. So we just had like bad rain today. It's been quite warm here, to be fair. It's been quite nice, but we've had like rain um today. It's not really nice today, but I'm sure once it gets nice, I think a lot of people will be out. And plus, our days are coming on quite late now, so teams will have to go out a bit later to
Right.
reach that
That
darkness.
is the downfall about paranormal investigation in the summertime.
Hmm.
Is we have to wait even later, for it to get dark and get any kind
See,
of
I
good
feel,
stuff.
I feel, yeah, I feel spirit comes to you no matter what time of day it is. Light day, morning, noon. I got an experiment that I'm going to be trying. Is I'm going to be doing two investigations in one day. I'm needing to sort it out and sort out like times and stuff, but I'm gonna do one at 10 o'clock in the morning and 10 at night, and 12 hours apart, exactly 12 hours apart. And I'm gonna go to the same location, same setup, same equipment, same everything, but just at different times, and see the activity I get from both. If it's the same spirit that
Right.
comes through, it's a completely different spirit. Does the darkness affect the actual readings? Does this? I just want to sort of like be more scientific about that sort of thing.
Right, right. Well, on our client investigations, I always tell them, if your house is haunted, it's haunted 24/7. It's
Oh
not
yeah, of
just a
course.
day or not. You just hear it more at night because the world is asleep. Everything is calm and quiet. Your phones aren't going off. The kids aren't running in and out. The dog, everything just gets quiet. And I prefer to investigate at night for that reason. But I also understand if they're there, they're there. Whether it's day, night, it don't
Exactly.
matter.
And at night time you haven't got light. Light muffles sound. At
Right,
night time sound travels a lot faster at in the dark. Okay,
Hmm.
right.
so and that's what it is as well. So you can hear a lot more at night because you ain't got the light blocking the sound. Mirror scrying is really good. I love mirror scrying. Transfiguration is absolutely amazing.
I prefer not just mirror, but I prefer the black mirror scrying.
Yeah, I've
So
I've got one. I've got one downstairs, a Black Mirror.
Right, right. I know a lot of people. We did a whole show about that one time. A lot of people are freaked out by
Black Mirror's
mirrors,
really
but
good. I mean, and everyone's got a Black Mirror. Everyone has because it's your TV.
this is true. This is true.
that's true. That is true.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
there's a whole, I guess, old wives' tale or legend or whatever that if you sit with a candle and catch yourself and the candle in the mirror and meditate, when you look away, you're supposed to be able to see any spirits that are in your home.
Ooh.
So I
ooh,
did a lot of
I
research
could
for that
see we're gonna
particular.
be trying that.
I'm the researcher. I do all the big research before we do a show. So I did a lot of research on that.
You know what, Jess? I might try that.
I know,
It's
me too.
interesting.
That's what I was thinking too.
I might try that
Well,
now.
yeah, we'll have to try it. We'll have to share our findings and see, what we come
Exactly.
up with.
Or I'll set a camera behind me. I'll sit in front and I'll do it, and then I'll see what I can pick up for the night vision.
That would be
Right,
interesting too.
right.
Maddie. Oh, I
Maybe
love Maddie.
have a
Hey,
full spectrum
man.
camera going.
Oh, and Sharon says that she's done that. Very cool. Well, we're gonna have to hook up with you too, Sharon.
No,
We love
like,
witches,
no.
and
Sharon
we
Weston is
collect witch
amazing.
friends. And
She's a
that was a
lovely woman.
question. I know that somebody had asked in the chat last night, and I know you kind of answered it there. But for the public, you know, have you ever worked with witches, met witches? What is your feeling on witches?
I've not met a witch in person, like in actual here with me now sort of thing, but I have spoken to witches across social media. Um, my feeling of witches is they're just people, they're like me and you and everybody else.
Exactly.
There is no wrong about them. There's no. I mean, there is like I believe witches in the past, go back a few hundred years, were, or even not more, were wrong done by. I feel witches are. If anything went wrong in your life or anything wrong in your village or like that, they'll blame the crazy woman or the crazy man, and they would have got killed for it and tried for being a witch. There was no proof. And I feel like a lot of people, like the Pendle Hill witches and the witch trials and things like that, a lot of innocent people got killed for no reason whatsoever. And I believe witchcraft can be as good as bad. You got two parts
Right.
of witchcraft, and it's not all bad. It's not all evil. You got some really lovely people out there that do witchcraft, and they are
Absolutely.
amazing.
I mean, and of
And
course, there are witches out there that do bad.
Yeah.
Witchcraft is not inherently good or bad. And I
Hmm.
know Joshua here was saying they're Wiccan. If you're talking about me and Terry, no, no, we're
no,
not.
we're not. No, we're not Wiccan. That's too structured. And as religions go, Wiccan is fairly new, and it just takes from old pagan ways. And as Sharon said, eclectic witch she is, and that's what Jess and I
Hmm.
classify ourselves as too.
And
Because
we have
I
Siobhan.
just,
She's here for the first time. So hello, Siobhan.
hey, yeah, welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you. So, we just kind of do our own thing, and and you're right with you. It is all about intention. So if the intention of the person is bad, it's going to be bad. You know, no, who said we weren't witches? Because that's
No, we are witches.
you have not been paying attention to our shows, Josh. I mean, we've been doing witchcraft on them and stuff. Where have you
No,
been?
we are
We're not
100% witches,
Wiccan.
and we are 100% not Wiccan.
Right. We're not Wiccan. I like to kind of call myself Episcopagan. I have been in an Episcopal church that, and this was just one church. I can't speak for them all. It was amazing, and he talked of love and light and just shared his experiences. It wasn't fire, hell, and brimstone, and you're going to hell for this and you're going to hell for that. So I can, as far as that little church goes, I relate to there somewhat. But I find myself more comfortable in paganism because I don't want to have to answer for my sins.
Well, and it's not even that I don't believe in the Christian God. I just don't worship him.
Yeah, I
Right,
don't believe in no God.
right. Oh, you believe in
And
no God at
I
all?
believe in no God. No, I don't believe there's like one particular God up there. I believe that there's energy, there's strong power of energy up there, and I believe that there's like a pool of light. I believe that there's two pool of light. You got negative light and positive light, and I believe that we sort of go in our different directions. And there's no heaven and hell. I believe that there's there's positive and negative. I think like if you're a good person, you're a good person, a loving person, and you believe in you do the right intentions, you go up. If you're negative and really cruel, like these mass murderers, these always cruel enemy, like cruel people in the world, you go
Right.
down. And that's how I feel. I feel like you're splitted, you know. Um, and I am interested in gods. Don't get me wrong. Like my brother there, Ron said about Odin and the Vikings. I'm very passionate about the Vikings. They are my favourite folklore out of all folklores. I love the history. I love everything about them. Um, but I am interested. I'm like an open minder.
yeah,
I'm
Right.
interested to Muslims. I'm interested to Christianity and Sikhs and all sorts. I'm open to it all. I want to hear their like multiple stories. And that's what I'm like. I don't have one. I'm just open to the idea of it all.
So, you
You
know
know,
what, Wayne? I've got a secret for you. You sound very much like a witch.
do I really?
You
yeah.
really do. You really do.
You sound very, very, very much like a witch. Not all
Very
witches
much.
work. Not all witches believe in or work with deities. I do. I don't share both of my deities. I can say one of them is the Morrigan, but I
Right,
don't really
Sharon. I
share the
think
other
so
one.
too.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, Sharon agrees. You're a
He
witch.
Right,
is.
right.
Well,
Just
I
know
don't like I said. I've never done witchcraft. I would never know how to begin.
Well,
I
but Wayne, you probably do. when you're
Yeah,
lighting that candle and you're meditating,
you're doing
that's
witchcraft.
that's witchcraft, honey.
Right. Okay.
You're grounding yourself.
You're grounding
I
yourself.
mean, I know
When
certain
you're
things, but
sending that positive love and light to people, that's
yeah,
witchcraft.
When you're calling for spirits to speak through you, that's witchcraft.
yeah. Right.
See?
Okay.
And Sharon,
Sharon is telling you she's always known this about you, Wayne.
My daughter wants to be a witch. She's 8, like Destiny. She's 8. Her favorite film is Hocus Pocus, and we've
Oh, I
watched
love
that.
this
Like,
child already.
no, don't, Terry. Like, we've watched that film. Like, she knows it from the start, words from go to the end. She knows all the songs, and for her, I think it was for her no, her Christmas. I think it was, or birthday. Can't remember. We got her an actual witch outfit, right? And we got her a little necklace with the actual book from Hocus Pocus on it. Uh, we got her a spell book, and she's actually done a live on Hocus Pocus as she sang songs and that from the film.
Oh,
So
cute.
yeah, so
That's cute. Josh, some male witches do not like to be called warlock. They
it's
think
up
it's
to you.
derogatory. Yeah, but if that's what you prefer, but I'm just putting that out there
Most
because
of the male witches we know. What the
prefer
hell
just to
was
be called
that?
witches and not warlock. Because warlock has kind of got a negative condensation on it. They were kind of evil and wicked, or they did bad magic. So and one witches too. My husband's gonna chime in with his 2 cents back here on so do witches. But yeah, very much a lot of things you do, Wayne, is very witchy. And I think a lot of people think that all witches practice witchcraft, and that's not true. A witch is
no.
it's a way of life. It's what's in your soul. Um, Practicing witchcraft is just like your grandma picking up the needle and thread and making something. It's kind of it's crafting. So when you light your
I mean, when I
candles and
did
you're
my poppet,
meditating,
when we did the show the other night, I hand sewed it because I also do not magic when I sew. Like if I'm making something and I'm going to be sewing it, I don't use a machine. I hand sew it because you're putting that magic in with every single stitch. And Sharon,
and Wayne,
I'm not surprised, Sharon. That's all
right,
I'm gonna
Wayne, have
say.
you ever like cooked dinner for your wife, and the whole time you're cooking it, you're thinking about how much you love her, and you want this to be really special? Those kind of
Even
things are
something as simple as
witchcraft.
that.
You're
Yeah.
putting
Do you
your
want do you
love
want
into it.
do you want me to be truthful? No, but no, but but no, there is a one time I always do it. I don't show romance. I don't show it in the public eye. I'm not. I can be that person, but it comes far and few between. I believe romance is in your own way. People do things
Right,
differently.
right. Yeah,
And they
my
show it
husband's
differently.
not a romantic guy either, but the things that he does, the little things that makes a
Exactly. Yeah.
difference.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you show romance all the time, it's not special when you do show it. Eventually,
Right,
you have to show
right.
romance in drabs. And the last time I've done really something really nice for my wife is where I went to town. I went to my local town. I got some steak. My wife loves steak. She loves steak, mushrooms, onion, cooked
Oh,
fries, and
that
the whole
sounds so
thing.
good.
Yeah, it's so
Hey,
nice, and we do that, and then we always put on a film that we like together. Like we love the Fast and Furious franchise. We like Jason Statham, and we like his films and things like that. So, and then that's our time. We just chill out and
Right.
watch stuff. And that's our time. But yeah, I do put when I do stuff for her, I do put thought into it, and I do go a bit over top, like for her birthdays and stuff. And I always put that extra special ingredient in, like, and that's with me. But it's not always, it's now and then.
And welcome to being a witch, Wayne. Yeah, it's always been there. Yeah, you just didn't have anybody call you. Jess and I have a tendency of bringing people on and telling, you know what,
I
you're a
think you're a
witch.
witch.
You're a witch. Well, we
That's
just
funny though, because
collect
that's
y'all.
actually what my husband and I do. I'm not big on. Valentine's Day, big craziness, big gifts, anything
No,
like that.
I'm not.
What we
No.
do for Valentine's
Mm-mm.
anniversary, all of that, my husband goes and gets a steak and some sides, and he makes steak, and then we watch a horror movie together. That is our
Yeah.
Valentine's Day tradition.
Yeah.
Because our very first Valentine's Day, we had not been together but a couple of weeks, so it was too early to do anything big, anyways. So we had dinner and we went and saw a horror movie, and now that's what we do every year for 13 years now.
That's
So
amazing.
we are
That's
actually.
Congratulations, the big
amazing.
13.
Don't get me started. He was driving me crazy with that whole Hercules and Jesus thing yesterday.
She almost killed him. I could hear it through Messenger. She was about to kill her husband.
I think he does these things just to drive me insane. But we are actually at 12 o'clock.
We
So
are. So,
we
Wayne,
do want to
plug
plug
yourself.
that Wayne's show is tonight at
8:30 my time.
8:30 UK
8:30
time.
your time.
I
So
have
that'll
the schedule.
be
I just closed it apparently.
2:30 our time, right? But yeah, we're
Where?
6 hours behind them.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
doing
that's right.
Yes,
yeah,
2:30 time.
Yeah, I'm doing Connection to the Other Side tonight. So I'm just doing normal ITC apps. I do hold up objects as well, so see if we can get Spirit to say. And it has worked near enough every time we get the word come through the necrophonics. So last time I done it was a
Ooh.
cross. I opened up I've got a Bible, I've got a cross, I've got holy water and that in my house. And I hold up a cross, a steel cross. And I went on to the actual Wild Spirit. What is this? Don't say what it is. I say, what is this? And on the necrophonics came out clear as day, a cross.
Wow. So you do this from your home?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. So you don't worry about bringing this stuff in with you. I know that some people do. I don't myself because I'm always gonna, protect.
I cleanse every month on the dot because there's too much bad shit been
Yeah.
happening on this property and I don't want it in my house.
No,
So
my house
No
is
F
crystal dust.
bombs
I got,
today, Temple. We are. I try to be good on the daytime show.
but yeah, I should be indoors tonight. Like I said, I've got kids here that will be going to bed quite early. But if they're not settled, then I might go to my local stone circle.
okay.
Oh, see, you're going to a stone circle. I mean, you're just everything you're saying just screams.
Do
I'm
you
a
want to know?
witch. You
I know
need
you.
a neon banner over you.
I know you got to go, but my friend on my team brought me a cloak as well, a black cloak.
See, you're there. You're witch. Have you ever watched the movie Practical Magic with Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock?
I haven't seen that. No,
Okay, your daughter will love this one, but there's a
right?
line in it. There's a line in it, and I'm just gonna throw it at you. Witch, you're a witch.
So, but no, if like I said, it's down to my kids. If they're settled, I'll be doing it in my house. If not, then I'll be going to the Stone Circle tonight.
Very
All
cool. Well,
right.
we're definitely gonna pay attention because I want to
Yes,
see. I
I
want
want
to
to
see
watch.
that. And of course we'll get you shared out. So tell everybody, yes, get Practical Magic and watch that with your daughter because you'll love it. It's a good
I will
movie.
do. I will do.
Um, and tell everybody where they can find you, all your social media platforms.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm on Facebook under Spirits Within, so it's Spirit Space Within. You can go on to TikTok. I'm Spirits Within underscore official, and on Instagram it's my name, Wayne AJ Gulwell. So you can find me on all those.
Yep, everybody go check out Wayne. Um, he is Sir Wayne of the Church of the Round Table, whatever the hell we called it last night.
You know
We
what
I'll
I'm
have
going
to
to
go
buy
back
acknowledge
next
and
him.
time?
watch.
You know what I'm going to buy next time? I'm going to buy a nice out, like a little dress up outfit, come on as a knight.
Come
Oh
on
hell
as a
yeah.
night. Yep. Yep.
Yes, hell yes. Yes, Sir Wayne, we're so glad that we had you. We're so glad to
I'm
call
glad to
you
be
our
here.
brother witch. We're so glad to have you on our network.
Thank you.
We just love you already, and I look forward to where the future is going to go with all of us.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you very much.
Jess, you know what you do at the end of the show. Do that thing.
You know, I think I'm gonna just go on and repeat what William's been saying. According to my husband, Hercules and Jesus are the same person.